the Gold Coast next week?
Yeah, and he was just in Sydney, but like my TikTok was just flooded with people. Literally, when was the concert? Was it during the day?
No. It was on like a Thursday night or something.
Yeah, the tickets came out like on Tuesday.
And people were just dropping,
again.
Dropping everything, running to Sydney Opera House to go get tickets.
Yeah, crazy, hey?
Yeah.
Did you see
And then
like
they cut you off when you can't.
Yeah. The wait list, like when people are joining online to get a ticket, 100,000.
Oh, nonsense.
There was they were talking about the difference between like Tiki-Tech and like Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
And apparently one actually honors the queue, whereas one just like lets them in randomly. No matter whether
really?
they're waiting like 10 minutes or 10 hours.
Oh, okay.
What do you think's more fair? Like,
that's random or not?
I reckon queued.
you feel like queued?
I do feel like queued.
Not random? So like...
No, because like if you're there ready to go, like you should be honoured that you should be let in first.
So when should the queue start? Because like sometimes they open the queue like...
Well, then they shouldn't do that. They should open it as soon as it says ticket drop time. Yeah.
But how's it work if everyone logs on at 10
crashes
o'clock?
the site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know for like the Rugby World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go to the Rugby World Cup, like it's a massive sport. And basically the way that they do it for tickets is it's like a raffle. So you sort of submit that you want to get a ticket and then they'll email a certain select number of people. So it's like randomly drawn of who gets it.
Yeah. We were talking about this with last night about the NBA and the Super Bowl. So we're saying like when we go to the Taipans, when we get nosebleed tickets, it's literally like $30.
Yeah.
But then you go to the NFL and for the Super Bowl, like the absolute nosebleed tickets were $5,000.
Yeah.
And then even NBA, like those nosebleed tickets are like $200, $150, $200. So a lot of times those are like won by businesses and companies and sponsored, and then they're given out as raffle tickets.
That's wild.
Like, I think that's a way cooler idea than having to spend your life savings just to go watch some live sport.
Yeah, literally.
Like you
Go
can't
see the
even make a
Lakers
night
once.
out of it. Yeah, and saying like NFL, NBA, it's all just so insanely expensive, but not our problem because we don't live there.
So I saw people like flying across different cities just to go see Fred.
Yeah, they were literally like people in Melbourne were just like getting the ticket, and like the resale was insane.
Yeah.
Like so insane. And like I saw people in corporate jobs at work have like 8 computers up, like 3 phones and things like that. The day just stops and they just waited to try
That
and
was
get
to see you trying to get Taylor Swift
Yeah, that's
tickets.
the thing. Like, don't you have an artist that you'd do that for?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Probably.
Like, yeah. It's just your preference.
But do you like Fred again? Let's dive into that.
I like him. It's just like I just think it's overhyped.
Overhyped.
Oh, definitely. It's over.
Yeah.
Do you think Taylor Swift's overhyped?
Yeah. Taylor Swift has a cult following and it scares me. I'm sorry for all the Swifties out there.
Have you seen the video of that girl crying her eyes out?
Yeah.
Exile.
No,
It's just like,
they were
get a
like
grip.
They were killing each other because like if they saw someone go like 2 nights in a row or 2 concerts in a row, that person got absolutely demolished because like as if you wouldn't give someone else a chance to experience that for the first time. And it's like, if you're a paying customer, like, and you're a fan,
This is capitalism, baby.
Yeah.
I was surprised like how many people on my timeline went to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like,
There was so many.
100%.
And I think that's like the crazy thing about like you can be 12 or you can be 60 and just be as in love with her. Like her span of her like age audience is so vast.
Yeah.
Like you just had like these proper old ladies like,
If I got a ticket, I 100% would have gone.
Yeah.
Like, because from the videos, it was an absolute spectacular in terms of a
full
live
performance.
performance.
It's a huge performance.
Like huge production
It's a story,
value.
yeah.
Like there's not many gigs you can go to where the production value of the show
that much.
is that high.
Yeah.
Like it's just a visual spectacular to begin with. I'd go.
would you still pay if you're like all the way at the back?
Yeah, because like it looked like even from the
Atmosphere.
high seats, like the stage was so enormous that you could just see everything. So yeah, I'd still go.
And especially when you found love of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I do.
bro,
I do
you know
like
one
her
thing
now.
that did get me? Did you see the amount of proposals?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
So crazy to like
cringe.
love story.
That's crazy
Yeah.
cringe to me.
Yeah.
I was like, if you ever drop a knee like that, no.
He's like, it's no.
Hold up, let me just cancel everything.
It's a bit baitery. Like if you look back in if you look back in 5 years and go like, I proposed at a Taylor Swift gig, you'd be like, oh.
What if it's their favorite artist?
Context.
So
Cannot do
I'm the
it.
devil's advocate there. The first one I saw was done really well.
Yeah.
And like you could tell she was just like head to toe in her
big
soul
Swiftie.
a Swiftie.
Yeah.
And like the fact that he learned every word to the song and it was perfect timing. They had like seats right up the front. I was like, okay, that's cute as fuck.
Yeah.
It like gave me like little goosebumps and shit.
Yeah.
And then like I liked one video and then the rest of my TikTok, I saw 8 other proposals. And the other ones were terrible, bro. He was like kind of like standing behind her like,
Yeah.
and he's like fumbling to get the ring out and then like
Cringe.
falls down and almost
Cringe.
drops in shit. I was like, oh, that's not a memory you
No,
want.
thank
Did
you.
you see the one where there's a dude like climbing through the crowd to get
Yeah.
to his partner
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
surprised her at the show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so like,
cool.
it's always going to be a scale, but
Yeah.
people are always going to find a way to fuck it up.
That's true.
Classic.
That is very true.
Who's like top of your list to see live?
At the moment, Hosier.
Yeah, nice. That'd be
Hosier.
keen.
Yeah, I like
What about
Hosier.
you, Ben?
Or Noah Khan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I haven't seen.
Or
I
if you
haven't
can
seen
see
Sam
someone again.
Fender. I've
Sam
seen
Fender.
all my
Sam
favorite
Fender.
bands.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I've seen all my favorite bands.
Did you watch the Beatles?
I've seen Paul McCartney.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
only
given
thing I
there's
know
only
about
2
Ben.
alive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've
crazy.
seen Paul McCartney.
Anytime Ben's in the car, I always put the Beatles on just for him because I know he loves it.
It'll be throwback to when he was young.
Yeah, back in
our
his
age.
20s. Yeah.
Oh, I remember those days well.
Dementia hasn't kicked in yet.
Nah.
What about you?
Definitely Drake.
Yeah, it has to be. Top of
Yeah.
the list. Drake fanboy here. I'm
same with
talking
you.
shit about like Swifties. I'm like, oh my God, that's so mainstream. Cam, what
But then
about you?
yeah. Like, we're just as bad,
Yeah,
though.
Mr. Helicopter. No, it would be so crazy. And like even like you watch his concerts live and they're just like, although Travis Scott concert would be insane, but I probably wouldn't make it out alive.
But like,
bro.
Yeah,
would
I don't know
you
about that.
like? How do you feel about him playing like
Fiend
Fiend
11
like
times
11
in a
times in a
row.
row? Like,
Just,
What?
yeah, he got
he
a
has
world record, didn't he?
yeah, like he has like this really popular song that came out last year, and then he's just like breaking the record of like playing it as many times at his concert as possible.
Yeah.
Why would you be proud of that record?
Because it's just like, who else can do that and have audience like sing along and vibe to it the whole time?
Probably
Sounds like
Taylor
a-
Swift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, it was cool how she did like the surprise songs.
Oh yeah.
I thought
yeah.
that was cool. Like at the end of it, wow, maybe that Emma Swift. I'm not
Wait,
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Same with like I think Drake was doing that. Like
Yeah.
he'd do like one low key song
Yeah,
for each city he went to.
yeah, that's gangster. It'd be cool on the to-do list.
Well,
Okay, well,
we'll do it.
While we're on this momentum, do we want to just talk about 75 hard?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to switch to the other topic now.
I mean,
so-
it'd be interesting. Yeah,
Go for
'cause
it.
we've already said. What did we say? Beta
Beta
proposals.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh no, I'd have to cut all of this
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'd have to cut it.
So we're talking about that, and let's go straight into gender pay gap.
Yeah, no.
We'll circle back around.
Yeah.
So, set the scene. We have the lovely
So-
Mira joining us today. Thank you for
Hello.
coming.
Gorgeous Mira,
Anytime.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
So,
my girlfriend.
I was going to say, one of us on the podcast is dating her. It's Brody.
Guess which
So yeah, that's cool. So obviously, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, welcome,
Anytime.
Mira.
So-
Finally.
Why are you here today?
Why am I here today?
How'd you sneak your way onto this amazing high production, high value set?
Oh, thanks, Angelo.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing 75 hard at the moment, and we're just trying to figure out and like get to the end of it at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it? Go
What
for
is
it.
it?
Day 63 today.
Yeah.
So we got.
What's the challenge involved?
Yeah, so I mean, 75 hard is somewhat of like a fitness, self-development, discipline
Mindset,
challenge,
yeah.
mindset challenge, I'd say.
Yeah.
You've completed it already.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So you're ahead of the curve.
You're the
You've got
alpha.
bragging rights.
I'm the alpha male.
So basically, for anyone that hasn't heard of it, you have to complete 5 different things every single day for 75 days. And if you mess up one of those actions, you have to restart. So you've got, 2 workouts a day?
Two
One has to
45-minute workouts. Yep.
Yep.
One outdoor, one indoor.
Yep.
3.8 litres of water every day.
Yep.
Progress photo, reading 10 pages of a non-fiction book, and you have to finish it front to back. And sticking to a diet of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see your progress photos.
Oh,
Both you guys.
I did a body
Just-
scan.
Really?
Yeah.
At the beginning
and
at
No,
the end?
I wish I did it at the beginning, but
That's
I did it
okay.
recently, and I was
Yeah.
like surprised at my results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's always good to have that. It's so hard whenever you're tracking like weight statistics, whether it's like measurements, the weight on the scales and things like that. It's such good data to analyze, to use it for progress, but it's also so easy to get caught up in it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, it's really, really interesting. So kind of day 63 now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
day 63.
63, yeah.
But you guys also, as well, like, have been doing some
Habit
challenges as
tracking.
well.
Please.
Like some habit tracking.
Please don't even put me in your realm of it. I haven't done in the last couple of days, and I'm just like, you
I
know
think,
what?
like,
You know what?
though? I think it's like commendable because like you guys have still been doing like your fitness, you've still been eating and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do it to the strict stipulations of the original 75 hard,
which
but,
is so fine.
but
Like 75 soft.
yeah, it was 75 soft.
Yeah, like you guys had your own versions of.
We had
what
our
you
own
wanted to stick
version,
to.
and
I'd 75
I have
flaccid over here.
Yeah, when was the last time you filled out the spreadsheet?
No. Probably like February.
great. No, but it's been good because even though I haven't done to the extent you guys have, I know that because we've had this shared Google spreadsheet where we've been tracking the habits each day, I have definitely seen the impact and influence on me sticking to like the reading or the walks or the exercise way more because now it's in this like tangible physical thing that I can see. And as soon as there starts to be gaps in there, I'm just like, oh, check myself back in. Got to sit down and read if I was just going to watch the TV or something. But if I wasn't doing this and sticking to the habit and having the habit tracker, I would be like, well, whatever. I'll just get to it when I want to. So I haven't stuck to it like what you guys have, but I've definitely seen benefit from tracking it.
Oh, same. I love the accountability of it. Just like
It is.
having all four of us just going through, having to check it off.
Also, the bit I love the most is that all our goals were personalized, or what we were trying to achieve was personalized to our goals.
Yeah.
So what we would doing. So and it was really good. It was perfect because we spoke about the like habit tracking and just habit and goal setting really early in the year.
Yeah.
And I got about halfway through and I realized like I was trying to do my 10,000 steps and it just wasn't sustainable for like my lifestyle and what I'm currently doing. So I switched that out to doing like my gym session and then my cardio session on the bike, and it like way more successful. So I didn't feel guilty about not being able to achieve something. I just pivoted and then was able to achieve that goal.
That's it.
Which I felt was
and that's
way
part of it
better.
as well, is like finding what works for you, being able to adapt.
Because obviously there's building that mindset, but there's no point, I feel like, at the end of the day, doing something that isn't serving your goals and you feel like you're getting value from it at the end of the day.
So are you doing 2 workouts basically now instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I find like when I've got like a stationary bike at home, and I can either multitask or kind of just zone out. Whereas like actually having to get checked, like I just sit in my underwear, to my housemates, and just pump out that bike. And I'll either scroll through TikTok or do reading or whatever while I'm on the bike. It'd be so funny if I just be like, oh yeah, I've just been, running the Arrow every single day, and just like see if any of you guys gonna fact check me. I wake up at 3 a.m. and I go for my first 10K run.
Just like we undercover follow you one day. You're lying.
Bullshit. But no, it's been cool. So for you guys, like at the start, what do you find challenging what do you find challenging now, or what's been easy, or have you noticed changes in different things?
Oh, there's definitely been like changes.
Yeah.
I think we started this at the beginning of the year, which meant that we had a lot of free time without working. We had no structure. We could do our workouts whenever we wanted to. And then like the biggest transition was going back into work, and I work a 10-hour day every day.
Yeah.
So it really like impacts if we don't do a workout in the morning before I start work. It absolutely messes up the rest of the day and our second workout. And I think like that was a huge transition to get back into.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I even think about that, all the soft skills you would have developed as well too that aren't part of the challenge. Obviously scheduling, prioritization, time management, that's not a strict part of it, but you need it, otherwise you wouldn't be able to succeed.
Honestly, if we don't plan like our next day, we struggle unless we instantly get up, go for a walk and start our day like that.
I think you had some of those days really early on where you had to go to a gym session like 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
It was there at midnight, and I was just like, this
Still
is
doing a
ruined.
workout.
Yeah.
Because like some of those days, like especially like in week 3 or 4, where you went back to work, there was like multiple days where we'd miss like the morning because we're just so tired.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to do like straight after work when you finish at 6, like do a walk and then go to gym like 3 hours later because you have to have like that 3-hour gap.
Yeah, so you can't do back to back as well.
And that messes up the next day because then you're getting home super late and tired.
Of course.
So you're
Waking up
getting let
tired.
sleep and then you sleep in again. So it just continues this cycle. So I feel like we've like pretty much fixed that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I hope so. We're at the end.
We're like,
But
I think the only
it's,
thing.
it's a tiring thing. So even like this week, we were both sick, and getting up has been really hard, trying to get out of bed. And there was one day that we almost messed it up, and that was the CYC networking event day.
On Friday.
And we were like, if we don't do this, like I was getting ready for work in the morning while in the middle of doing that, also doing exercises in between because I only had a certain amount of time, 45 minutes to get to work.
Yeah.
And I think like it was the commitment and discipline of like having to actually just go, I've got to do it right now, otherwise we're going to be messed up later.
Yeah.
We're not going to get it done.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So have you seen not only physical benefits from it, because you have to take the progress pic, right?
Yeah.
Right. So there's the physical element to it, which I guess maybe motivates you to keep going each day or each week. But has there been like the mental clarity, I suppose, because you've had to work on the discipline, the scheduling? That's a whole suite of self-development in itself, and there's rafts of books on all that stuff. Have you seen like that benefit? Like your mind is clearer because you've been planning your days and weeks a lot more?
Yeah, definitely. I think in terms of like the physical side of things and seeing progress, I know like the first 2 weeks we felt like we weren't making any progress, and then it hit like week 4 or 5, and then the scale was like actually changing and things like that.
Right.
You're seeing somewhat of a difference. And I think it's because you're looking at yourself every single day through those progress pictures that you're probably not noticing the changes.
Yeah.
But I think a big one for you was like even the comments you were getting from other people. Hey.
Yeah. So even up until probably like last week, I was like, I'm getting no benefit from this other than, oh, wow, I'm super committed and disciplined and I didn't actually think I'd be able to complete something so long.
Yeah.
But it, like, obviously I've like hung out with you guys and like in between those times, you haven't seen me every single day. And you guys make a comment about like, oh, wow, you're looking really fit. Or like all my friends are like, wow, you're looking so toned and all of this sort of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, so this is benefiting me in a physical way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really hard to see when you're like actually in it.
And I've always said that about like the progress pics. It's so important because again, like the scales just are so inaccurate. Like again, like perfect example, I'm 85 kilos now, and the last time I was 85 kilos was 2 years ago, and it was before I started 75 hard, and I was like, fortunes, like just fat, bulked way too hard, and obviously like I'm not super lean at the moment, but it's just that body recomposition. And it's just so hard to trust like those numbers on the scales. So I think having those photos and tracking other measures like, you know, your aerobic ability, strength, just all those other markers is so important. But again, if you're still getting like the results on the scales too, that's really awesome as well.
No, I think that was my issue is I wasn't. Like I didn't really change in weight or anything. And I felt healthier. I felt like less tired and more energized. But I was like, I don't think this is doing anything other than exhausting me. And
when you think about how much water you're consuming as well too, like you've got at least 1 kilo or 2 that you're putting in, like once you finish this challenge and you just drop that water, you'll literally drop like 3 kilos in weight.
Like straight away. The water. My skin's looking great.
I was going to say, if you did a water cut, you would easily drop like at least 3, 4, 5 kilos straight away.
I need those.
You keep drinking the water. But it's just interesting how like there's all these little different metrics that play into your body that are going to skew how you view success.
I think the mindset stuff is awesome too, because like it's really shown like how much, like if you make something a non-negotiable, how like disciplined you can actually be to like say a challenge or something in your life that you're working towards. Because even just applying like having to get up every single day and make it a non-negotiable, where like if we do this, like we're not failing. That's been something that I want to carry into other parts of my life, like after this. Just setting, again, maybe like 75 days for other habits that I want to build or something.
I think it's a really good time frame. Like you're not taking the whole year to do it, but it's long enough to actually see the results and come back from them.
And that was the commitment we sort of made. We were like, if we do this, we're not failing. There's no way.
That'd be so shame. We'd never let you live it down.
Do you think it would have been harder if you were just doing it by yourself, but you've been accountable to each other?
100%.
Do you reckon that's been the secret? Like if someone wants to try 75 hard for the first time, should they wrangle in a close mate to stay accountable to each other? Yeah,
I think you've been so supportive, and like it's a really good balance to have. Give him some love. It's a good balance because, like, obviously everyone has different energy levels based off of what they're doing through the week. And there's been so many times where I've been really tired and he's like, you're giving up now, and, like, gets me energized to finish what we needed to do for the day. Or he's been really tired. Or he's been really tired and had a huge week or like day from work, and same sort of thing is like I can hold him accountable as much as he can hold me accountable.
Yeah.
And I think we have, or at least I have, actually I won't speak for you. I have a competitive side, and like I
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Nothing we have in common.
And I don't like to fail. So yeah, I just feel
tapping into that.
Yeah.
But that's like the beautiful thing about it. Like everyone's going to have something different that they tap into. But once you figure out your why, you could just use it again and again and again.
Yeah.
But like, can I say the example?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like 2 weeks ago, I think it was like a Friday night or something.
Yeah.
And it was getting pretty late and we hadn't gone to the gym yet. And you're like, oh, let's just like not go or have you feeling.
Yeah, I was really tired.
And literally all I had to say was like, yeah, you're right. Let's just give up. Yeah. Like, and then you're like, no, let's go.
So simple. I love it. That's so good.
Yeah. And I think like, obviously this will be different for you, but from a female perspective, like I have my menstrual cycles and hormones and stuff that make it a little bit more difficult during certain times of the month, I suppose. And like having you there to support me through that sort of stuff has been really beneficial for me as well. Yeah.
Have you found like the balance between like when you need to be like soft and supportive versus like hard and kind of push? So I always find that sometimes it's like, do you need, I guess it depends on your own style of communication and what you like, but it's like, no, come on, like pick it up, let's go. It's like, oh, come on, it's all right, let's do this. Like what type of support to provide?
Yeah, I think so. Like there's definitely times where someone is absolutely hating trying to do like a workout and we're just like getting through the motions and trying to like send them positive affirmations. Something like that. I definitely like going back to your question. I reckon it would be so hard if it was just like, say in your example, Cam, where you had to like challenge yourself to get up every single day. Luckily for us, like one of us is getting up and I don't know, making a coffee for the other person before we go for a walk or go to the gym or something like that.
Yeah. Like I'd like to say that I could complete it alone, but the support and accountability from you makes it so much easier. So
I think the hardest thing would be doing it in a relationship when the other person isn't doing it.
And
that was really,
that'd
really
be a big strain.
Yeah, because it'd be like,
that, right?
it put like a massive strain on the relationship because it's like, oh, Friday night, let's go date night. And I'm like, I have to do a workout or I have to read or...
I mean, even for us, like we obviously are doing walks in the morning every day where we have time to connect and it's quality time. But even I've said like, I don't feel like we're having quality time and downtime together that's not structured and just based off of a checklist that we have to do.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine having
Takes
to do
the romance out of things.
let's go on a romantic
Can we go
walk.
a romantic morning walk?
It's been good. Like, we don't have that as much, say, quality time like that. We've also been really committed to like, I don't know, learning about each other, learning about like relationship stuff, like building that into our like walks, so like what we're learning and trying to just learn about each other. Yeah. And just having you guys as well, like having such a strong friend group has been really supportive.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't imagine like someone trying to do this like themselves without any sort of like accountability or support. Like you'd really have to focus in. But so many of our friends are like hitting us up, trying to do workouts with us. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what I was doing? Yeah. I thought you were just trying to hold my hand.
No. Wait, that, you know, when the doctor's like this and they go like, and they grasp the needle.
Wasn't big enough. It's just like, okay, I guess he's getting close. It's just like,
I literally thought
Cam is so smart. Stop fucking tapping the table.
I literally thought you were just holding my hand. I was like, what?
Like, fuck off, not now, the cameras are on.
So to the listeners, Brody likes to tap the table a lot and it might come through the audio. So I told him, just be careful with the hand tapping. And Cam's just for the last like 10 minutes been holding his hand thinking, well, I guess he's being a very supportive friend. No, just stop tapping the table.
I'm going to put my hands back here.
So go put them in your pocket.
I'll bring the fluffy handcuffs next time.
Oh, chain him up. Chain him up. No, that's good. I don't think you mentioned, but you've been off the grog as well as part of this. Is that a part of the original 75 hard challenge?
Yeah,
okay. Let's unpack that because what impact has that had on your social interactions, other friend groups, outings, and everything like that?
Yeah.
Has it been easy or has it been like, damn, this sucks being off the grog?
Maybe if we start like before the challenge.
Okay.
Because I was really freaked out about it. I thought that was going to be the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
Because for me, I was even checking like who had birthdays in the first 3 months.
Yeah.
So I'm a big person of like, I feel bad if I'm not having a drink with someone that's like the birthday person and they want to have a drink. But getting into the challenge, like you were pretty solid with it, right? Like
I wasn't worried about not drinking.
Yeah.
I think the first instance that we had of it was literally the 2nd of January. We had a birthday party and it was with a group of friends who we like to, you know, all enjoy our time together with drinks.
Shout out
Blackout
Scott.
together. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out Scocks. And it was surprisingly easy.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel the need to drink. I didn't feel strange that we weren't. And I feel like it made me super like okay with it.
Yeah.
And it was good that it started early.
You forced yourself to.
Yeah.
And you didn't get cop flack from friends or anything?
No.
Like
This was an interesting instance though, because we got there and there was probably like only 10 of us there and 5 of us weren't drinking or doing.
Wow.
Yeah. Because 2 of our friends, Bianca and Ange, were like, yeah, no, we've started this year sober. We're doing that too. And we're just like, oh, sick. Like that makes this so much easier.
Yeah.
But like I remember you being so stressed about it. You're like feeling so bad. And I feel like now you're at a stage where it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't.
Yeah.
I think the only 2 other times were like Hottest 100. Like that was probably a hard one. So on Hottest 100, we obviously like had the pool party with us, which nobody really drank.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to another group of friends and everyone there was drinking and playing drinking games. And like we were the only 2 not drinking. And that was pretty challenging for both of us because like we just wanted to join in.
I feel like it depends on the group of people you're with. And there's nothing like wrong with either side, but it's just that they're the kind of people that we go and hang out and have a few drinks with, whereas you guys are like self-development, like working on yourselves and that sort of stuff, which is more, it makes it easier for us to not drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny when we all do decide to drink though.
Yeah.
Then there's some debauchery.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the other one was like going to, we went down to Brisbane like 2 weekends ago for my brother's birthday. And like, it actually wasn't hard, but like just not having a drink with him.
Yeah.
It's like, this is like the 3rd time I've caught up with him since a kid. And like it was his 30th birthday and we couldn't have a drink. And it was just like, oh well, but like it wasn't the end of the world. Like he didn't make a big deal of it or anything.
Yeah.
And we still like had such a great time. But I think I'm at a point now where I'm not fazed about it.
Yeah.
Even like, I don't even know if I'd continue drinking or not.
After this.
We've been
I was
talking
going to
about
ask you
that.
that.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah. I'm still unsure as well, although I do love the idea of going to the sunny coast and having a few cocktails like when we're finally done this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessary and I don't think that I want to drink in the same way that I used to drink.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I love a binge drinking night, unfortunately, which never really makes me feel good. And I reckon it's been so good not having the anxiety or like hangovers or anything leading into the week as well, because it would always last until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it just makes
when the
it so
Sunday
much easier.
scaries leak into Tuesday.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about this as well too, because like again, you talk about our group here where we're all very, you know, ambitious, whatever you want to say, like very focused on our goals and what we want to do. I feel like it's almost a personality trait that if you are that way inclined, blacking out and drinking to like crazy amounts is almost just linked. And I always put it a thing to like going 110% at work, and it'll just be this 3-month cycle where I just smash it, and then get to that, and then just have an absolute blackout night or blackout bender or whatever, and then I'm good for another 3 months, and I'll do that like maybe 3 times a year.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah, and I thought, I'm like, oh, this is sustainable, this is healthy, this
Yeah.
is okay. And it's like until I've started to see how you guys kind of live your lives, where like we might go have like 2 beers on a Friday after work, and then that's kind of like our drink, our unwind for the weekend, and then you go back from there and being able to have a little bit more of that balance and having both instead of just the big ups and lows.
Yeah, and there's like science behind binge drinking is way worse than just having like regular casual drinks. Yeah. So that's why I want to figure out the way I want to drink if I want to bring alcohol back into my life, honestly. Yeah.
Well, it's just it's just like poison at the end of the day. Like that's I've read a few articles lately, and I think there's a change in the tide of drinking culture. And I was just at a shindig a couple of weeks ago, and the amount of blokes drinking non-alcoholic beer
Really?
surprised me so much. And I didn't think that they were as popular as they were. But Damien, our mutual friend Damien, he's been drinking more of those lately.
Yeah.
And I had some just the other night, and it tastes like beer, but it disappears very quickly because I think the alcohol gives it that, like, it retains that flavor a lot longer. But I felt nothing because I think it's the act of drinking when you're with people that it was remotely alcoholic in flavor, but there was obviously no alcohol. And I didn't think I didn't think anything about it that I had a non-alcoholic beer. And so I think going forward, like, I think I could just probably sub out the beer if I'm ever, like, at home or anything like that, or I'm out or I got to go to someone's place. I don't think I feel as socially awkward if I brought a 6-pack of non-alcoholic beers. I think things are definitely changing. So maybe, I mean, going forward outside of the 75 hard, I mean, would you only have a drink if it's like a special occasion or something like that? But outside of that, would you say, well, Monday to Friday, I won't drink. Like there won't be any after work drink or anything like that. But maybe a Friday or a Saturday night, if I'm out doing something, then I'll have a drink.
Really interesting you bring up the non-alcoholic beers, because after I did 75 hard, I went sober for 6 months. That was like the next challenge that I did. So I did like January, 6 months into the year.
Wild.
And I went to 2 parties in that time. And I went on one of them, it was at like my brother's house, brother's party, I brought non-alcoholic beers so that I could still join. Because the only thing I don't like about being sober at parties is not being able to join in games.
Yes.
That's my competitive side coming in because I want to beat everyone at everything.
Even when you're off the clock.
Even when I'm off the
straight
clock.
up beating
My
people.
competitiveness never sleeps. And I got so much shit for not drinking.
Really?
So much.
Yeah,
and there was
wow.
this one guy that just kept like digging into me. And he's like, why are you not drinking? Da, 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 da. And like, it's so hard to explain to like someone that's really drunk, like, oh, I'm just like focusing on myself at the moment. Da, da, da. Mental health's not in the best place. So I'm just kind of removing that. And it almost took me out of socializing because I was like, I don't feel like I can be around these people and not drink and have a good time, or drink and have a good time either. So again, you talk about your environment and the people that you're surrounding yourself with, which has been such a massive part of this challenge for you. But I gave it 2 really good goes where I was like, okay, well, I can't stand around and just not have a drink, so I'll bring these non-alcoholic beers. And had, like a really kind of like terrible time with it. So then I almost just like removed myself from that social setting.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, how old were you?
Like, we're 23 this year, so I think I was like 21 or something.
Yeah. So 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think a lot has changed in that time, in drinking culture in Australia in that time.
And like, it was a room full of like professionals and things like that. And I noticed the ones that always struggle so much with the concept of not drinking, and this could just be a stereotype that I've experienced, but it's really introverted people where they just cannot fathom the idea of socializing or having a good time.
It's a very good point.
Without drinking.
Yeah.
And especially this guy that was, giving me a hard time. Just going to shout, typical engineer, super introverted. And this person particularly just could not fathom the idea of not drinking in a social setting to have a good time.
Was he your friend or like?
Like mutual.
Yeah. So maybe like not enough to actually care.
About it.
Because I feel like maybe the benefit of having such great and close friendships is they don't expect you to drink. Like they just want the best for you.
Yeah.
Whereas he's probably just like, some random dude.
Have a good time.
I think you're right about that in terms of the introverted thing, because like I would say that I'm not the most confident person, and I definitely use like a drink as like a bit of social lubricant, especially. And when we were at the CYC networking event this year, it was the first time that I'd been to one of those where I haven't had a drink.
Yeah.
And I am used to being like, yep, I'll get a glass of bubbles, and then I'm like ready to go, even if it's just for the act of this makes me feel slightly more secure, not even that I'm like tipsy or anything like that. But I think like being sober has like cleared my mind a little bit. And at that event, I actually found it so easy to talk and everything like that was needed, and it was totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So true.
Have you felt any, I mean, it's probably hard to distinguish the physical benefits of, it's either a lot of all the water you're drinking or the exercise or the lack of alcohol. Can you really tell yourself, like, can you feel it in your own body of whether you're feeling benefits of not drinking, or is it the benefit is the constant exercise and the water consumption? I suppose it's impossible to distinguish.
Even if you're cutting 3 beers out on a Friday afternoon, that's like 1,000 calories that you're missing out there. And then you're replacing that with water, which is hydrating you and flushing out everything in your system. And then on top of that, you're exercising.
Yeah.
So you can't really pinpoint without the other.
I think we're getting to like a point where like we are pretty tired with the challenge though. Okay. I don't think it's something that I would continue in the same format. I'd still take parts of it, like daily exercise, but potentially not like the amount of exercise and stuff like that, and sticking to a diet. But I think even like day 35 or so, like I hurt my leg.
I was going to say that. We've talked a lot about the benefits. What have found the drawbacks been?
Like the drawback of, I don't know, we were playing netball. And I hyperextended my leg and like really messed it up. And even since then, like it's been hard to do like walks and runs and stuff like that. Feeling super tight around my body and muscles and stuff like that. So I am like a little bit keen for like just chilling on the beach and Sunshine Coast. But I think there is benefits to the daily exercise and making that a habit. How about yourself? Like, have you sort of had any?
Oh, I mean, I had my shoulder injury, which I actually got last year, but it was more or less okay until we started doing this again. And I can't let it rest, and then I can't just do legs every day because that's annoying. But
you should see Tim the physio. Shout out Tim. Gave us some good advice when we pulled our groins.
Oh, okay. Nice.
At the gym.
Pulled each other's groins.
But I think like that has been hard, and it's not being able to rest because you have to do something, whether or not that is just a walk or whether or not, like it's tennis or whatever. But I do think that we have like done our exercises in a more softer way, so that we're not hitting the gym every single day.
And fun way, I feel.
Did we speak about that at the beginning as well too?
Yeah.
I said that, like you've got to, your body's not used to that high intensity and you need to choose something.
Because you're like, don't go gym every single day. That was sort of what you said you did, right? You stuck to like gym, bike, gym, bike.
Because I always did, like I've always done like gym in the morning, so my body's always been used to that. For my second workout, I literally did the bike the 75 days, because apart from swimming, like one of the most low impact on all your joints and muscles. So I just kept it the whole way through, and you literally burn like 300 calories in like 45 minutes, and it's like so low intensity. Watch TikTok. Like I just think it's the best form of cardio.
Sweet.
And that's probably like good for some people, just like to lock in. It's super simple. You've got your routine down. I think for us, like early on, one of the podcasts we listened to was about like habituation and how do you keep things fun. Because the big thing that we were worried about was like getting to day 30 and we absolutely hate it. Like, cause it's just like the fun's gone, the excitement's gone. So if you even look at like the spreadsheet, like our workouts have been all over the place. So like, even if
Which
we're doing,
I admire, it's awesome.
Thank you, bro. Like even if we're doing walks, we're trying to go for a different place for the walk. So it's fun, trying to do different exercises, different sports, switching up what we're doing in the gym.
Incorporating different people as well.
Yeah,
which has been a big one, because I definitely get bored easily. So that has been something that's kept me going. Because if I was doing the gym every day, I would be like, I'm out. It's not worth
it. So is it walk every day with another activity, or even your like both activities you change up pretty daily?
We're pretty consistent with just walking in the mornings. But there's been like times where we've done
other things,
axe throwing, and then something else. Like
Hey,
it's an exercise.
That's cool.
Ice skating,
So
that's cool.
So I suppose to wrap it up, what would you say to someone if they wanted to do the 75 hard challenge themselves? What I suppose tips and tricks could you give to set them up for the best position to do this and see it through to the end? Get the scheduling down pat first.
I reckon like making sure you have a schedule for each day and just taking it one day at a time. That's probably the biggest thing. Rather than looking at it like 75 days, just get like that first day down and then the next day. Just keep that pattern. Otherwise you're going to stress yourself out trying to, I don't know, do 75 days. If you just try and look at the first day in front of you and get that perfect, then you can get through it.
I think that, as well as the habituation thing, changing things up and getting the support of the people around you is really good.
Yeah.
If you have people who are interested in doing that sort of challenge, or even like you guys are doing a different form of 75 habit tracking, getting people who you can keep you accountable is really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the book that you had to read 10 pages, did you plan out which book you wanted to read to ensure that you stayed interested the whole time?
No, I didn't.
Not really,
I don't think you did either.
It's sort of like just as we went, like what are you sort of like trying to learn about? Yeah.
And we started with the same book and then moved into different books.
Yeah.
And
now we're on the same book again.
But I think like something you've struggled with is like reading a book front to back because
you usually reading it back to front?
No, I mean, like, he usually changes out if he's not interested in a part of it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You have to read everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think selection of the book would be like Atomic Habits, for instance? So you're reading something that's reinforcing the mindset that you're in, or you're not just going to read like Sapiens and learn about like human evolution over this period of time. Do you think it's important to select the right book that's going to reinforce?
You have going into it, maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that could definitely help fuel it. And I guess like my last one would probably be getting to a point in your mind where it's just like a non-negotiable of like you're not going to fail this challenge.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the biggest thing that's probably helped us is no matter how tired we are, no matter like how much, I don't know, pain, not trying to be David Goggins or anything, but like
whatever's going on.
But honestly,
whatever's going on.
Who is going to carry the boat to the end of the day? Like, someone has to. The boats need to be carried.
Yeah.
It's going to be us.
I can definitely like feel when we started the challenge, it was a different mindset of like, this is something that we're not going to fail. Like we're just going to, no matter how hard it gets, probably going to just show up.
My thing was always just like, I would go onto TikTok and look at like the 75 hard challenge and you just go into the comments and see how many people failed it. That got me going so
honestly,
hard.
That's cool.
Even talking to my friends, I've had quite a few friends around me go, I like failed at day 13. I couldn't keep doing it. Yeah. And that's kind of like invigorating.
That really, and that it might be where that competitiveness came in. But just scrolling through hundreds and hundreds of comments about, I got this day, this day, I couldn't get it. And I was like, I'm getting through it.
That was something I mentioned to you yesterday as well. And we've talked about is like getting to this point now. Before we had started, it felt like this massive challenge. And it was like, holy, how are we going to do that? It would be incredible to be able to do that. I think we were even going through our goals for the year last night. And like my big Misogi goal for the year was like to do this.
Yeah.
And now it's like.
And then now we're like almost at the end of it. And I feel like I don't know how good I thought or how challenging I thought it was is like gone.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's just like on to the next thing.
Which
like,
is crazy when you think about that in terms of other goal setting and other contexts. It's like, this was supposed to be this was your Mount Everest. And you literally did it. And you're like, okay, what next now?
Yeah.
My advice to anyone going into the challenge is be really, really clear on why you want to get into it and what that is, because on the days where you don't have the motivation or the discipline, you're going to need to go back to that core reason of what got you into it in the first place.
Yeah, I think that's a really good tip.
I love days like that.
It's always, always, always consistency over intensity.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you go for, a 15K run on that first day, you need to get up and do it again. So those, low intensity walks and tennis and all those other things are always going to be so much better for you because you've got 75 days. Like, it's 2.5 months. It's a long time. It's always consistency over intensity.
Yeah.
That was a big shift as well, as I think, and you probably had this too, just on those days, realizing that that's like the moment that you're building the discipline. Is when it's raining outside and we don't even want to get up to do a workout and then we're doing it before work still. Or I can remember like one of the first couple of weeks we went for a walk at like 8 p.m. It's pouring down rain at Centennial Lakes and we're just carrying the umbrella.
And just doing it.
Or like the other night, like playing tennis with Daniel in the rain. And like we went to one tennis court, the lights are off, can't play there, we went to a different one. Booked in like a court, it wasn't working, got the lights turned on. We still played for like an hour.
All those obstacles.
Just because it's non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Well, how many days have you got left?
13 or 12?
Yeah, 13. Yeah. So
check back in soon.
Check back
by
in.
the time this comes out, we might be done.
Fail tomorrow.
Oh no! Don't put that in their mind. No. All right.
Not happen.
Well, congratulations, guys. We're so proud of what you've done, and Mira, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Love yous.
See you guys.
All right, love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.